In banks also, the ones that have very, very large positions are institutions. It's nice to put it in the larger banks. It's also nice to be able to spread it around into banks that you know that will be there for a long period of time, that has a track record, that has a large asset base. It's time that we don't focus on things that we can't control, but we focus on things that we can control. We've seen so many things in the banking industry that from a purely savings perspective, a lot of people would get scared also because ever since we were younger, people considered the bank as a very, very safe place to put your money. That's why you put it in the bank, because they would safeguard it for you, they would secure it for you. And everyone knows that if you put $1, you put 1 peso, after a few years also, you have the ability to get that back at any point in time, plus whatever interest that's there. That's why it's considered safe. That's why people put a large amount of money there. That's why a lot of people are okay also that even if they don't make tons of interest, as long as their money is in the bank and they know it's secure, they know it's safe, it's totally okay. That's why a lot of people give up the ability to earn from other investments that are legit, because when you invest in other investments that are not like banks that don't give you something that's fixed, you get volatility. There's a chance that some of your assets also would go to zero. There's a chance that it would go down. And that's why people go to banks. However, over the past weeks that we have been watching, from Silicon Valley Bank to Silvergate to Credit Suisse, and when UBS bought Credit Suisse and how it impacted Credit Suisse as well, I think it's something that's worth noting. I made a video about this that I mentioned that a lot of the things from a Philippine perspective, at least the banks that are there, are more conservative. They have a larger reserve also. But it begs to note also, and I think it's so important to realize, regardless of where you are living, to diversify what you have. I think diversification is something that's so underrated because it's boring and because it's something that's easy to do, and it's something that a lot of people, no matter where you are in life, could actually do it. Diversification won't really be as attractive, especially if there are a lot of investments that are doing well, especially when it's a bull market. A lot of assets during bull markets do very well and would want not to get a larger position when you see stocks or properties or even cryptocurrencies do very, very well. It's different when it's crypto that's crashing, and it's also different when it's stocks that's going down, because everyone expects it to be volatile. But this time, it's the entire banking system that's being put in check. Please do note this, since banks use fractional reserves. The entire notion of fractional reserves is that it's not 1:1. If everyone withdrew their money right now, the banks don't have enough cash to be able to fulfill it. I think that's one of the things that people need to realize. That's why I mentioned this also in another video, that we would see movement of money from smaller banks that don't have enough cash and liquidity, that will move to larger banks, the ones that have been there for a very, very long time, the ones that have survived different crises, but not just survive different crises, they are the ones also that have a very, very large cash position. In banks also, the ones that have very, very large positions are institutions. A lot of them also are locking in their positions in the bank as well. Of course, they would need the money also for liquidity purposes, for payroll, and so much more. But institutions panic less than retailers. However, also when institutions take out their money, they're the ones also that could cause a lot of pressure, because it's a large amount of money taken at a very, very fast pace in time. Why am I saying this? Please don't panic. Nothing ever gets done when you panic. Nothing ever gets done when you're scared. However, you also have to be wise. You also have to diversify. You also have to be very, very intelligent on the way you would structure things. That's why let this be a lesson also that's important to spread things around, not just from stocks to bonds, crypto to property to other assets, but even for banking products. It's nice to put it in the larger banks. It's also nice to be able to spread it around into banks that you know that will be there for a long period of time, that has a track record, that has a large asset base. It's time that we don't focus on things that we can't control, but we focus on things that we can control. This is a bigger and massively better use case also for Bitcoin. Traditionally, people would put their money in property, and that somehow will protect you also from bank runs, because when you own the property, It's yours. You could keep it, you could protect it, you could safeguard it, you could put strategies around it. And if you have a hectare of land, it's a hectare of land regardless of what's going on. It's yours to keep. The same with gold, the same with watches, the same with pieces of art. But the same is true also when you talk about Bitcoin. Always remember that Bitcoin, at the end of it all, is a store of value. Bitcoin, at the end of it all, is decentralized. Should there be any problems with our own currency or even in foreign currency, it's not kept on someone else's ledger. It's not something that's centralized that you don't have control. Please remember this. Every time you put your money, even in a centralized exchange, in a financial institution, in a bank, you're trusting the bank that they will safeguard the money for you. That when you need it, you believe that the bank has enough funds also that they get to disperse it, they get to give it to you at the time you need it the most. I think that's one of the things that people need to realize and understand in the whole narrative of this. When you're talking about Bitcoin, it's your coins, it's your keys, it's in the blockchain, it's protected, it's decentralized. How do you protect yourself? How do you protect your funds from everything that's going on right now? Diversify, different asset classes, different banks that are not connected to each other. Go with the ones that are safe, that are secure, that have been very, very long standing. They have survived different crises and they have a large amount of cash also, stockpile of cash that they get sent to you should you withdraw as well. And also, it's nice to diversify it in different asset classes that traditionally have stored value, from gold to watches to paintings to real estate as well. But the most important, the one thing that's game changing is Bitcoin. And please do remember this, I'm not even talking about price movement. I'm not even talking about what the price of Bitcoin will be, because it doesn't matter, because its main narrative is it's the most decentralized, most secure asset in the planet. It's something that will allow you to control your own financial destiny. So, times like this is a bullish case on how Bitcoin will be, because you finally have something that we can own, that we can control, that no one can take away from you. So that's it for now. I hope you guys got a lot from this. I hope that this was something that was insightful and helpful for all of you. This is Marvin Germo. I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all again soon, and God bless you all.